Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are recording on Friday, September 20th, a few days before Media Day. As you're listening to this, 2 days until Media Day. It's Tuesday, September 24th. We're getting ready, ramped up for the season. Season's just over a month away now, the regular season. Preseason's even sooner. Celtics kick off the preseason in Abu Dhabi against the Nuggets at the beginning of October. So really only 2 weeks until basketball of some sort is back. Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing better and better by the day. As we grow closer, I saw a tweet from Greeny today. We are 2 weeks away from the first preseason game. So not only are we going to be done with the summer void, but we're going to have basketball to watch. Honestly, preseason basketball is some of the most interesting basketball to watch in terms of like a content standpoint, because you actually have like new things to learn. Like you have new players to learn. You have new thoughts to establish on each guy. You have the battle for the last roster spot. Like you are getting a new look at a lot of guys. So there's a lot we can do with that from a content standpoint. It's so much more fun. But man, I'm just so excited to actually have media day, to have content to talk about, to have games. We're almost there. We've almost made it. I'm in a good mood today. Sorry, Joey Spatula, who probably was hoping I would be in a bad mood.
I'm glad you're not, because that'd make my life miserable. I'm
You
glad
don't
we're
have
here.
any fun when I'm in a bad mood ever?
No, it's the worst. It literally makes my day so much significantly worse. So
It ruins
it
your
makes
day?
it makes my life worse. Period. End of sentence. But anyways, let's dive into some speculation about the sale of the Celtics. Bill Simmons and Zach Lowe were chatting about it on, I believe it was the Bill Simmons pod. I don't know if it was Zach Lowe or Bill Simmons. I'll check now, but they were together. I don't know on exactly which podcast, discussing what the Celtics sale could look like. It was in fact the Bill Simmons pod. And Zach Lowe said, I'm not going to worry about it until it becomes a thing in the NBA for a month. Let's talk about the sale. $6 billion is the number. I mentioned it over the spring/summer whenever this broke. That would be the high water mark. I think that's high. I think that's going to turn. Maybe a bidding war emerges of such frothiness that we get there. But from what I've heard, it's going to end up being a little high. And then Bill Simmons said, Celtics sale is pretty interesting. Added piece to this because that things are going to move fast. I don't think people realize how fast it's going to go. Like that's it. It's going to be November. The team's going to be sold. And Bill said, that's what I think. I think it'll be mid-November. The process is in the middle of it right now. They're finishing their books. They get the books out to the prospective buyers, kind of have a sense of who the buyers are. What is this going to be? Is it going to be the Pagliuca group that wins it? Is it going to be an outside group? If it's an outside group, those people are all bringing in their own people. Basically just talking about the different options, the Win Group casino option, the Bezos option, everything like that. But they speculate $5.2 to $5.4-ish million, which would still be the highest sale in NBA history for a team, because the current record, I believe, is the Mavericks at the Suns, who sold for $4 million to Matt Ishbia last year. Mavericks were 3.5 when Mark Cuban sold his shares in majority stake in the Mavs. But yeah, so some added speculation of the Celtics sale, which they think will be done in the next few months, which is very interesting, even though the whole process won't go through till like 2028.
Yeah, so for us, we've talked about this in the summer and we've speculated, and really the consensus is please don't be Fenway Sports Group. Please don't be Fenway Sports Group. The Pagliuca angle of this is interesting because I feel like he has been very involved this summer. He's been everywhere. He came to Rhode Island with Joe. Like, he is somebody that is always participating in team events. Like, he feels like he's very committed to being a part of the Celtics. So I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being him. I feel like from a fan base perspective, I think we're all rooting for that. We already know what we have in Pags. He's a good owner. He's been around for the 2 championships of this century. And if it is Pags, I wouldn't be shocked if Wick sticks around in a minority ownership role because, well, I just think he would want to. I think this is what he likes to do. And we've since learned that his father's stake is really the issue in this, what's being sold. So if he's able to stick around, I'm sure he will too. But the good thing here is we have not heard anything new about Fenway Sports Group being involved, which is what we do not want to hear. That is a bad news thing if we do hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even necessarily want to speculate because I truly have no idea who's going to buy the Celtics.
Neither.
Pags buying it would be good because we already know that he likes the team and enjoys the team. So like it would be nice to just have a familiar face be the leading owner of the team. Win Encore would be interesting because it's just a group. Like I think it would obviously just be their goal to make money, but it wouldn't surprise me if they wanted to build a new arena. I don't know who owns Win. I don't know how much money they have, but obviously the casino is very successful.
I think the person's name is literally Win.
Oh. Who owns Wynn Casino? Let's see. Wynn Resorts. That doesn't answer my question, does it? Publicly traded corporation. CEO Craig Billings and Steve Wynn. You're right, Steve Wynn. Let's see. Where is Steve Wynn from? Hopefully, it's not anywhere.
It's Philadelphia.
New Haven, Connecticut. So sure.
All right.
Close enough, right? Unless that's on the New York side. I think that's closer to New York side, but regardless, I've got nothing. I literally have no idea.
I know it's just kind of part of it, but the new arena thing does bother me mostly because I hate change. I like that the Celtics play at TD Garden. I like that it is at the major train station. It's just like in a cool place. Like the idea of them having to move and be in a different arena, and as someone who comes up from Southern New England and Rhode Island, if I had to drive through Boston instead of into Boston, it would probably be a little bit of a longer drive for me. And the speculation is that it'll be near the Encore, which is in fact north of the city. So I'm rooting against it, but I can understand why a new owner would want an arena because there's just more profit that way. They don't have to pay rent. They don't have to pay rent to the Bruins. They can actually rent out the arena to different artists, music groups, like whoever is touring, wrestling, the Harlem Globetrotters, whoever wants to buy it, they can make money off of that too. So that's just more of a business angle to that investment. But I hope they treat the team well. That's the thing.
Yeah, it just got to be. I don't know, because on the one hand, I just like that's important too, but at the same time, if you just get somebody really, really, really rich, they'll probably just be fine spending and keeping the expensive payroll. Like right, like if they're just like a Steve Ballmer level rich, they probably won't care too much about the expensive payroll. Like they'll probably value the winning and the brand and stuff like that. But
can you imagine?
I don't know, man.
Up courtside at the Celtics games, just
Steve
red
Ballmer's
in
a great
face.
owner. Yes,
I love Ballmer. He's a quote machine. He's great on the mic. He's great courtside. He built the wall in the new arena. He is the man. He is unequivocally a hilarious figure to be owning a sports team, and he rocks.
He went to Harvard. I didn't realize that. Ballmer's got the brains.
Guys, I know the Warriors guys did. The Warriors did. They have ties here because when they won the title here, it was a big deal. They were like, "Yeah, it means a lot. We spent a lot of time in this city. Like whatever." Just rub it in.
Anyways, Zach Lowe, like I said, Zach Lowe, Bill Simmons speculating about the sale. It's really the only information you got. It's literally all speculation. There's nothing more to it than that, but figured we'd go over that because the sticking point is that the Celtics are likely to be the highest sale mark or price point for buying an NBA team ever, which makes sense. Not only just because like, oh, it's the Celtics, they have this big brand, but just from the perspective of it is the newest. Like that is the trend you get in sports. The newest person to get paid is always going to be the most expensive. So the newest team to get sold is going to be the most expensive too. So that makes sense. But next thing, unless you had something else.
It'll be cool to be like Celtics are the most expensive team. Just be able to say that to everybody. Like, your franchise, poverty. Is someone paying $6 billion for you? No. Unless it's like the Knicks, and they'll be like, they would if Dolan would sell.
Those guys have been begging for so long. they want out. They want to be done with that guy. Anyways, next thing, Jayson Tatum got a tattoo of himself on his back, hugging the championship trophy. I'll pull up a picture if I can find it here. But
I think I saw one on Reddit if you would like me to find it.
I got it. I'm just going to Google Jayson Tatum, and I guarantee the first thing that comes up is his tattoo.
Sick tattoo. Jayson Tatum, respect, first and foremost, as we find the picture. He is joining the Boston culture that was set by Ben Affleck of having a gigantic back tattoo.
A gigantic what?
Back tattoo.
Ben Affleck has a bat tattoo?
Yeah, look it up.
Does he?
I hope this isn't fake.
There's no chance Ben Affleck has a back tattoo. I guarantee you got duped. I would bet all of the money in my bank account that you got duped.
I will not make you bet because I'm like 75% I'm right. But you not knowing it put doubt into my mind.
It's fake for wait. Hold up.
I don't
First
know.
he said it was
it's
fake.
real.
He claimed it was fake for a movie.
Fuck.
Originally. Well, that's what he said in 2016. What the hell? And then
I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to know if I'm right or wrong. I don't think you know. I don't think the article's telling you.
I don't know. It's not telling me anything. In 2019, during a recent appearance on The Ellen Show in 2019, Affleck took the opportunity to defend his tattoo and its, quote, meaningful sentiment to him. Your back tattoo got a lot of attention. Ben said, not so much positive. It's a phoenix. I was about to say it represents something really important to me. It's meaningful to me. Yeah, I think maybe it is real.
Yeah, I think it's real.
That looks so stupid. It's not good. It's
I'm
a
so
really
happy
bad
I was right.
tattoo.
I got duped already this week, man. I couldn't get duped again. Because that would have been like a long game of getting duped.
This does not look real. But apparently it is. It looks fake. It looks like paint.
But just, to tie it together, like Tatum fully buying into the Boston culture of having a gigantic tattoo on his back. Paul Pierce has one too.
Yeah. Huh. I guess it is real. That's insane.
Tatum's is like kind of cool because it is like a collage of like basically when you're a kid in school and you have to make a collage art project of things that matter to you. That's what Tatum's back tattoo is.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. It's fine. A part of me thinks it's a little weird to have a picture of yourself on your own body.
I don't think that's the first one he has. I think he has one of him and Deuce on his leg.
I know what I said. I stand by my statement.
So you think it's double? He doubled down on the weirdness.
Yes.
I
mean, would you get a picture of yourself on you?
Guy myself.
Would you get a picture of yourself on your body?
I don't think so. But I can understand why he would.
I suppose.
Especially in this situation. Like, it's a massive achievement, right? Like, it's like to commemorate, like, I achieved probably what is his dream since being a child. Like, I won an NBA championship, and I did it with a historic franchise. Not so much that means everything to him, but, like, it's still a cool moment.
Yeah.
I do wonder if he left room for more Larrys. Because he also has his own sneaker on his back.
Yeah, his first sneaker. No, man, it's fine. I bet all the money in the world he's getting slewed on Twitter for it.
Tatum just stays getting roasted, man. Like, people do not like him. They just think he's corny.
Whatever. People can dislike him as much as they want. I don't think he cares.
It's like back tattoos, him, Pierce, and Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck's is the worst. It's so bad. I don't know Paul Pierce's back tattoo,
but has a back tattoo, doesn't he?
Probably. Why did you randomly come up with Brock?
I'm thinking of guys that have back tattoos.
A lot of people have back tattoos. I would bet 50% of the NBA.
Full back tattoos, though.
I'd bet like 20% of the NBA has that.
Maybe it's not that uncommon.
It's definitely.
It feels egregious, though.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot.
Two guys with no tattoos talking about tattoos.
Yeah, I don't got anything. No tattoos for me.
Comments. Let us know if it's weird to have tattoos of one, a whole back tattoo, but two tattoos of yourself.
Back tattoos are normal. Like I said, a lot of people have like full on back tattoos. It's just the idea of getting a picture of my own face on my back is.
I like that you don't like this.
Odd. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Like you do, you brother. It doesn't matter to me. It's not my body. It's not my tattoo. Like if it's meaningful to you, get it. I'm not gonna judge. I don't know if I would want a tattoo of my own face on my own body. That seems a bit odd.
I like this from you. I like that you are taking a stance that is like, this is fucking weird, dude.
Well, no, I'm not like
And I'm not
attacking
putting
you
words
for
in your
it.
mouth, but you clearly
You
feel like
are.
it's weird.
It is a little weird. I think the concept of putting a picture of yourself on your own body is a bit odd. But hey, it makes you happy. Not my business. Fuck it. You do you, bro. The rest of the things are cool, like the street sign. I get the shoe because it's like his first shoe. And everything else. Even Deuce is like, yeah, people get pictures of relatives on their body.
They're
Just like your own
kids, for
face.
sure.
Yeah,
I think the
yeah,
kid
yeah.
thing isn't that weird. Having your kid on
I
it.
I mean, honestly,
Especially-
I think I don't like the idea of getting anybody's face on the body. I think faces are, it's almost too real. Like,
I would get a Springer tattoo if he was like number retired good.
no, you wouldn't. I don't know. It's like, this is where my head went immediately. Like, if I am with a partner and then there's just a face on my body, that's weird. Like, if I am with somebody and I see a face stare back, I'm be like, this is odd. Don't love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, so I don't know about faces or stuff like that. But yeah. Anyways,
I got nothing to say.
good.
PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports, and unlike other apps, on PrizePicks it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. One Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on PrizePicks for every week in September. That's right, only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on PrizePicks because it's gone when September ends. Also, you can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. Sam and I used PrizePicks all season long while on How Bout Them Celtics pregame shows. We picked Jayson Tatum dunks, we picked Drew Holiday steals, we picked a ton of stuff, especially during the finals when Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, we were kind of preying on their downfall. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly. When you play $5, that's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game.
Next thing, apparently Joe Mazzulla went to France to check in with Jayson Tatum when he was dealing with all of the, we'll call it media scrutiny surrounding his benchings at Team USA. I think I saw something that he was planning to go to Paris anyways to support Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday, etc. But once Tatum was dealing with the getting benched and all that stuff, Joe went over there and made sure he was okay. It was on the Bill Simmons podcast. He said even when Tatum was struggling during the Olympics, Mazzulla flew out to France to kind of make sure everything was okay. The guy, that guy's locked in, knows his roster. I think the jump he made from year 1 to 2 has been astounding. People love that dude. So it sounds like the Celtics just really love Joe Mazzulla.
Bill was also not a fan of his. Like, Bill was calling him second row Joe. Bill was like all over him after the Miami series. And now he has come around and become a fan of his. And I think it's deserved. I think Joe Mazzulla has done a really good job. Like, people will look at the roster the Celtics had last year and be like, look, this dude inherited a great roster. He had the benefit of having 5 all-star level players in his starting lineup. You can say all of that. But there is something to be said about keeping all of those superstar talented guys in line, keeping them committed, keeping them locked in, having them play with the right mindset, keeping them engaged throughout the long slog of a regular season. They won 64 games. Like, that's no small feat. And then they went, 16-3 in the playoffs or something like that? Like, they didn't fucking play around. Even when it felt like it was easy, they did not. They didn't play with their food. And honestly, we were so conditioned, especially me, to worry about them playing with their food, to be like, I think they're going to fuck around and really put themselves in a bad spot and they're going to regret it. And after seeing it happen in 2023 against Miami, and they just never were able to get out of the hole, like they, climbed out, went to game 7 and then they lose. And it's like, well, if they just fucking played for real, then we wouldn't be in this situation. And last year you saw none of that. And it was a lot to do with him. The press conferences say it. The players reflected the same type of thing that Joe was saying. You were there. Everybody was on the same page the entire time, and he deserves credit. And that's why the coaches list that we talked about last week, I think, from CBS, and he's number 11, certainly not a fair placement.
No, I think that's lame. I wrote about it for Harvard Houdini. I think it is the lamest, cringiest, laziest thing to say the Celtics are so good and use that as an excuse to like bump Tatum down the rankings or bump Joe down rankings or like they are literally getting criticized for being too dominant. Like it
Yes.
is it's like when people were like, "Oh, is Curry that good? He has KD, or is KD that good? He has Curry." Yeah, they're both fucking amazing. They just decided to play with each other. Like why is that the next level of discourse? Why is it not like, look at these guys sacrificing for the greater good? We know how great they are, but they're sacrificing. It is, wow, these guys must kind of stink. Like, how is that the logical conclusion? It is the stupidest kind of discourse. I think it's lazy. And I think saying like, oh, Joe Mazzulla had a stacked roster, so he's good. Will Hardy made the playoffs won more games than expected with a couple Jazz teams, that he's better than him. Or like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? And for what it's worth, I think Will Hardy's an awesome coach. Like, I think Will Hardy's an incredible coach, but knocking Tatum down below like all of these guys, below Mike Budenholzer, who literally did not have a job last year because he's had good teams, is fucking brain dead. It is so dumb.
Just to pile on like the Mazzulla thing, like they do love him. He's committed to these players. They love him. He went to the DR with Al Horford. When Horford went and brought the Larry to his home nation, you know who went? Joe Mazzulla. He was on the plane with Al. The relationships he has built with the players on his team are so important to winning. I think the way that the team has managed to stay together says a lot about that too. Yes, Brad Stevens paid everybody. Yes, ownership was willing to pay as the sale was going up, right? But like those guys still have to want to be here. Those guys still have to want to be in a situation where they're sacrificing. Not every player wants to do that, especially after they've already won. There's something to be said about coming to a team and being like, okay, I'm going to do what I have to do to get a ring. But then to stick around and be like, yeah, I'm going to continue to play this way because it's awesome. The people here are great. The coach is great. Ownership is great. The front office is great. That says a lot. And Mazzulla obviously is a part of that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been as successful.
Yeah, these guys love Joe. And it's not hard to see why. And the people who still dislike Joe, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like I've got nothing else.
There's less.
It is.
We used to get comments in the YouTube section or the comments on YouTube where people would be like criticizing him even deep into the season. But I don't think this summer we've heard anything about him. I don't think we've seen any they've won in spite of him comments. Like I think people are kind of coming around and accepting he's done a great job.
Yeah, as they should. As they should. Great. Next thing, Kristaps Porzingis is coming back. So Kristaps Porzingis has been in Latvia recovering from his surgery, getting ready to hopefully make a comeback by, I think Christmas is like the ideal date that has been listed and thrown out places, or around the end of the calendar year. And he posted to his Instagram saying that today, or whenever he posted it, I think like today as we're recording this, so Friday, is his last day in Latvia, and that he's coming back to Boston. Obviously, training camp is here effectively in a couple days, so he's going to be there for that. But just another glimpse into his recovery process and his everything going on after surgery in the offseason for KP.
Let me take a look at the picture. I don't remember noticing anything of, oh shit, he has this on his ankle or a brace or like anything like that. I think he looks relatively normal. Like he looks like he's just got socks on, right? Let's see. Yeah, you have it up. It looks like he's just in socks. He doesn't even look like he has anything protective on there. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if we should be concerned or encouraged. But I suppose from a recovery standpoint, we should be like it doesn't look like there's a brace. We should be pretty pleased, or at least like, oh, like
yeah,
maybe further along than we all thought. Not that I want you to rush him back.
I don't care if he is further along. I don't care if he's healthy tomorrow. Do not bring him back. It's not worth it. I don't care. Hold him out until he is too healthy. Hold him out until he can run a marathon on the ankles. Like, there's no point. The Celtics have a good enough team. They've proven they can win at a very high level without him. They should break him out. Just break him out for the playoffs. Literally, he should be a playoff player, and that's fine. Pay him $30 million to play 20 games in the playoffs.
Like, that would be kind of crazy. It's almost like baseball where they bring like the relief pitcher in, but it's just for the playoffs. They just put him in. They kind of did that last year. They came in for the 2 games and got hurt. So,
oh man.
But he was surprisingly pretty durable throughout the season. Like, what did he play? 50-something games?
Let me take a look.
They were also careful with him, for what it's worth.
I know he didn't reach the 65-game requirement, so he definitely didn't crack that. But he played in 57 games, yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. I don't think we expected that going into the season.
It's after, so he played 65 in Washington the year prior, but other than that is the most he's played since the 2019-20 season, in which he also played 57 games in his first full year in Dallas after his ACL injury. So, yeah, man. Obviously, wishing him more recovery. I think it's going well from the looks of it, and yeah. So, just another update. He'll be back in Boston soon. Last thing before the email is an article I wrote. So I recently wrote about Luke Kornet for Hardwood Houdini. I talked to some teammates, some friends of his, sort of looking at what I described as the comedic origins of Luke Kornet, how he became. He's basically just like a comedian now in the NBA. He has established himself as a fan favorite in Boston, loves his dabs, which apparently he's been doing since his time in Westchester, because I asked Nigel Hayes, who played with him there, and he goes, dude, that dude loves to dab. He would just randomly break it out when I was with him all the time. You guys can read the full article up on Hardwood Houdini. I'm not going to sit here and read everything. It's like 4,000 words. It's very long.
In the description.
I can if I remember, but there's a chance I won't. But I figured I'd go through.
Go find it. Google Luke Kornet. It's coming up.
It'll be there. I figured I'd go through a couple of stories. One of them is I talked to Chandler Hutchison, who played for the Bulls with Luke Kornet, and he called Luke Kornet Chicago's version of Porzingis, which I thought was funny. Let me find the quote here. But he was talking about how he thought Luke was good enough to be a starter. Like, he's a rim protector. He shot the ball well. He was a legit 7-footer. We played together well. He was like, we played together in these low minute runs. And he said he was kind of like my version, the Chicago Bulls version of Kristaps Porzingis for real. So they thought very highly of Luke Kornet while he was there, clearly. What else is in here? They talked about how, like, one of his friends told me about how Maine was like a big reset year for him mentally in his outlook of the game. And since then, he's like obviously become this staple in Celtics green, like dabbing everywhere, doing the ice in the veins. And so it's fun to see like how he became the comedian that he is today. So if you'd like to read that story, read on what made Luke, go check that out. It's again, hardwoodhoudini.com. It's just, if you Google Luke Kornet, Hardwood Houdini, it'll pop up. So go check it out. I'd appreciate it very much.
Jack has done that for a while. He's been putting this together for quite some time. So definitely check it out.
Yes, sir. Cool. Let's check in with the email now. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. We read them every full show, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. So let's check in. First up, RJ. On the subject of uniforms, hey guys, I wish the NBA did a, quote, champions edition of a team's uniform for the year they are celebrating winning the ring the year before. I'll avoid the, quote, defending the title out of respect. So jersey, the friend, make the uniform gold, not yellow. For the road, make the name and numbers gold. Nothing horribly complicated. Just let the guys have fits that go with their status. Be well, RJ, who copied the Banner 18 folks on this idea too, because why not? Yeah, I don't hate it. I think that's fine. I almost think it's a little corny, but I mean, I wouldn't complain.
You really? I think it would be cool. I think it would be cool. I mean, the Celtics have done this before. Opening night after they won in fall 2008, when they opened up the 08-09 season, they did have like jerseys with gold trim on the green. You know what I mean?
Well, I am just thinking of if they lose in the championship uniforms, you're cooked. You are opening yourself up to slander and look at these losers wearing the title. They lost by 60. They lost by 30 to this team. You know, they got blown out in the championship unis. Like that is where my head goes first. So it's just like
I think that's valid. It's a valid concern, but if every team did it every year, it would be bound to happen. Like it would simply be bound to happen every once in a while. And like
yeah.
I believe it's on the sheet too. Like they do have like warm-ups they're gonna wear special on opening night. So like maybe it's just an opening night
I
thing
forgot
if they
about
have
that.
the uniforms, but like I can see it. Like you never want your team to get clowned, but it would be cool. It would be good for sales. Like if you're really, Nike having your uniform city edition circle jerk every September where you ruin everybody's day when you leak these awful uniforms. You might as well make some good ones. Imagine how much money you'd make then.
Don't they plan them a couple years in advance though?
They do, but I mean, I suppose you could have a concept for each team.
Maybe. I did forget to look at that.
Maybe like 10 teams.
Yeah. I did forget to look at those though. Let me pull up the picture of the Celtics championship warm-ups.
It's all right. Works perfect. Pull it up.
Here we go. These are them.
Clean.
They're fine.
I would do a Celtics jersey that was just the regular whites, but with the gold.
I don't like the white and gold. I'm not a fan. No,
really.
I wish it was black and not white. The gold and white.
All
looks
of the
too
championships
similar.
on the sleeve is hard.
Yeah, that's cool. I just wish it was black and gold, not white and gold, or green and gold. Just I think the white and gold looks. It's like
green and gold would be all right.
It's like too light. You know what I'm saying? This is like putting light blue text on a white page. It's it's a little like too. I don't know. I don't like it. I wish it was black or green instead of white, but it still looks cool. I like the design in general. I like the idea of having that. And the championships on the sleeve does go hard. It is cool. I like that.
Sick.
But thank you, RJ. Next email we got is from Philip, excuse me. Joe Madlibs 2. Thank you, Philip. Fellas, welcome back to the recently rebranded Joe Madlibs. Hell yeah.
I saw this email come in and I could not have been more excited. I'm not going to lie to you.
I saw it yesterday too. I almost looked, but I didn't. You'll see creative here in episode 2. You'll see my creativity quickly fading, but hey, it's goddamn September. So why not? Thank you. Name a counting stat players want to have, not fouls or turnovers. Want to have.
They want points.
Sure. Points. Name an exotic animal.
Cheetah?
Sure. Cheetah. Is that exotic? What count as exotic?
You owned a cheetah would be an exotic pet.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Name any personality trait, positive or negative. What you got? Positive or negative?
Prickly.
Prickly. Sure. Okay. I'm not sure. I want our players to get points. I'm not even sure that leads to winning basketball. I'd rather our guys consider the mating rituals of the cheetah and how the female intimidates the larger male with her indomitable prickliness.
Prickliness, yeah.
That's the kind of energy we need to bring to the court.
Not bad.
No points. No points, Joe. Name a crappy basketball team. The Bulls. Name a personal action or attack intended to physically hurt someone. Punch, for example. What you got?
Good. I did a lot.
I'm gonna go slap. I'll go slap, and then
All right.
name a body part. I don't know. I feel like I see the problem with this now is I know it's gonna be slap this body part, and so I just want to go like face or like you know what I'm saying because I want to pick something random too. Give me a body part.
Interior knee.
Interior knee, sure, back of the knee. After that loss to the Bulls, I took full responsibility. I left the arena immediately and slapped myself repeatedly in the back of the knee until I finally felt I had punished myself enough. I tore a muscle, but never felt greater clarity in my life. Man, I love Joe. Next time I got a different Joe game to try. All the best, Phil.
Ooh.
New Joe game. Let's go. Thank you, Phil. Love the email.
You, Phil.
Appreciate you very much.
I love going to watch football in person. It might not be Sam's taste, but I personally love going to watch a Pats game, even though they're not in the best place right now. I saw them play the Chiefs last year, and even though Kansas City absolutely won the game, it was still a great time, and I make sure to get all my tickets through Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Me and my friends are going to see the Red Sox tonight, and guess what? Game Time was the choice. You can pick the great deals, and like I just mentioned, you can filter out all the fees, you can filter out everything to make sure you are getting the best deal possible. That is my favorite thing, getting to know what the exact price is before I purchase, because I know I'm getting the best deal on Game Time. You can see the view from your seat, you get the lowest price guaranteed, even if it's canceled. Cancellation protection is great. It's the perfect app to buy all your tickets. Curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and everything else. I saw Noah Khan this summer, and guess what? Game Time came in clutch. All in pricing, again, my favorite thing. Toggling this feature shows you the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time.
Let's jump over to the NBA section and start with a different Joel Embiid. Got a contract extension with the 76ers. It is for, let me see here, 3 years, $197 million, goes through the 29-30 season. That is insane. That is a ridiculously expensive contract, but you're not going to do anything less because it's Joel Embiid, and you're not going to give him anything less than max contract.
Correct. I mean, so here's like always the interesting part of NBA contracts to me is the way the CBA is set up. You have to do this. You absolutely have to do this. There's nowhere else you can spend this money if you're Philly. If you don't pay him, you're just probably going to lose the cap slot. Maybe you'll have a little bit because he's already making a good amount of money. And this being your franchise guy, you don't want to let him walk. But this is the type of contract, by the end of it, might be rough. But you have to. You do have to. I don't dispute that.
It's like the Celtics extending KP and Drew. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like, by the end of it, they might not be the same player, but you're not going to not give them an extension because of that.
Except like both of those guys have played past the second round.
It's true. It's true. Embiid, how many games did he play last year? He was really hurt last year. Yeah, he played 33, 39. Before that, though, he played 66 and 68. So it's not like he, like, realistically, 66, 68, 51, 51, 64, 63. And those 50 games were in the shortened seasons. You know what you're getting with Embiid. Last year was, I don't want to say a freak injury because he's had injury problems, but it was like more significant than you're used to seeing with Joel Embiid, right? Like,
it was a little earlier than usual. Usually it comes in the playoffs when the games really matter.
That is the fewest games he has played in a season since his quote unquote rookie year, because he had to miss the first 2 seasons of his career. But like, even in the playoffs, he has been, see, it's impossible for me to know which seasons he was healthy in because he doesn't play that many games in the playoffs. He played, let me pull this up. Let's see which games he missed.
The stadium pulse comes up when you're trying to decipher which seasons he was healthy in the playoffs.
In his first year, he missed 8 of 10. He played in 8 of 10 games in the playoffs. So 8 of 10, I'm going to add them together. Then he played in 11 of 12. So what is that?
Not bad.
So it's pretty good so far. He played in all 4 in the bubble, obviously. Got swept. He played in all but 1, 11 of 12 in 2021. He played in 10 of 12 in 2022. He played in 9 of 11 in 2023. And then this past year, he played in all 6 games. So he's honestly not been as injury prone as I feel like a lot of people make it out to be. Obviously, he's going to deal with injuries. He's going to be not 100% sometimes. But like, he'll give you 60 games in the regular season, and then he'll be miss like a couple playoff games, maybe. But like, when he's on the court, he is the best player in the court outside of like 4 matchups, right? Like outside of a few matchups.
In the playoffs, those injuries make it so that is not true. because he's out there and not playing at 100%.
Sure.
I will say, he was very good at times in the Knicks series this past playoffs. He
He
had
was
50 ball in that
dominant.
game where he
Yeah.
tried to ankle lock Mitchell Robinson. But there were other times, we were planning out the show today, and I was on Reddit looking for different stories around the NBA, different Reddit posts today, whatever. And one thing that was posted today was Embiid in Game 7 against the Celtics in 2023, 15 points, 5 of 18, 4 turnovers. Like, he was very bad.
I wonder how much of our perception of Embiid in the playoffs is because he plays the Celtics and plays poorly. Like, I don't know. Like, is it only the Celtics that he plays bad against in the playoffs?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
Exactly.
They play the Celtics a lot.
I want to take
but I do know, like,
Joel Embiid playoff stats against Celtics. Against the Celtics in his career, he has played 15 games. He's averaged 26, 11.5, and 2.3 while shooting, and that's the important part. 44% of the field, 23% from deep. Not great for a big man.
Very bad.
Against playoff stats, not against Celtics. Will that come up? Will that work? Can I search that? StatMuse? Nope, that's versus the Celtics. Playoff stats, career in games, not against Celtics. Come on, StatMuse.
I feel like this is going to be beneficial to him because, first of all, a lot of these are first round matchups. So, like, think of like playing Washington a few years back, playing Miami in 2018 when Philly had won 16 in a row heading into the Celtics series. Like, they have played very well in the first round on a historical basis.
I can't find it. It's not
except for when
up.
they played the Celtics
easily. So who did they play the Knicks this year? So obviously against the Knicks, he averaged 33, 11, and 6 on 44, 33 shooting. Shooting wasn't amazing, but 33, 11, and 6 is pretty damn good in 41 minutes. 22, 23. He played the Celtics that year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
but they played 2 rounds.
Yeah, they played 2 rounds.
And they played Brooklyn in the first round after the Durant-Irving trades. So they played Mikal Bridges and the boys. They played how many games did the Nets win this year?
Not a lot. 30-something. He only played in 4 of those 5 games. But he averaged 25, 13.5, and 3.5 on 51, 23 splits. Didn't shoot 3-0, but shot the ball well. So that's fine. Yeah, he played fine in that series. Excuse me. Played meh in the bubble. Actually, he was pretty good in the bubble. Against the Celtics, it just wasn't enough because he had nobody else. Against Miami in 2018, he played in 3 of the 5 games. He averaged 19, 10, and 2 on 42, 38 splits. So he was meh in that series, but that was like one of his first playoff years. So that's when he was young.
Right.
He played Washington in Atlanta. So in the 2021 playoffs, 28, 10.5, and 3.5 on 51, 39 splits. Pretty damn good. Was pretty damn good against Washington and Atlanta for what it's worth. Then in 2021, he played Toronto and 2022, he played Toronto and Miami. And he averaged 24, 11, and 2 on 48, 21 splits, only took 3 threes a game. So he was fine in that year too. It does just kind of look like he is just really bad against the Celtics. That is what it's starting to look like to me, which not great considering how many times he's played them. But all of this to say, you pay Joel Embiid, period. There's no
yeah. You have to pay him. That's your guy in Philly. If they lose Embiid, they really they have Maxey and that's it.
Yeah,
he has been their number 1 for years. He won MVP. He's typically very dominant. It just feels like his style of play doesn't necessarily work as well in the playoffs either.
It's ironic because I think it should work better in the playoffs because he's a post guy and the playoffs slow down and gets down and dirty. But the foul baiting part of things is where he gets in trouble.
That's the problem. Yeah, like they don't really give him as much of that in the playoffs, and it's tough. But, if you're Philly, I said it before, you're not going to do anything else.
Dude, he still takes 10 free throws a game in the playoffs in his career. It is really not down that much. Like this past year, he took 12.4 per game in the regular season, and he took 11.3 in the playoffs. It was one fewer. Knicks just beat him, man. Anyways,
One more thing before we move on.
mhm.
There also is a defensive liability aspect to the playoffs, because if he's not as mobile because his knee's bothering him or something's wrong with his foot, like, and he can't move as well, then
If he's hurt,
you're
yeah, but
losing it a little bit. I mean,
if he's hurt,
it
yes.
feels like he's always banged up in the playoffs. Even
I know,
last year
but
against the Knicks, he was like on one knee. Remember in the game one when
he
he
was
had
good
that crazy
defensively.
putback? He was good in the series. But remember he had that crazy putback and he came down like his knee was hurting and he was like bleeding.
No,
through,
I
like,
know
the
he was
leg sleeves.
I know he was banged up, but he was good on defense in that series.
The point is, it's not going to get any better as he gets older.
Correct. He's just gonna have to deal with injuries more and more. But anyways, the Nets are retiring Vince Carter's number. He played there for how many years did he play? I'm look this up. He's played for
I
a
want to say
million teams.
4 or 5.
He played in New Jersey for 4.5 years. He was good. Obviously, made 3 All-Star teams there. Well, he was traded there and made the All-Star team, so technically 3. Traded there from Toronto in the 04-05 season. Helped them on a few playoff runs. Sure. I guess. Yeah, he's going to the Hall of Fame, so he retires number because he played there. Like, I don't know. The Nets don't have much.
Legendary Brooklyn Net or New Jersey Net, Vince Carter. I mean, he was there for the prime of his career. But the funny part about Vince Carter playing for New Jersey is that they had all of their Eastern Conference success before he was on the team. Like, they went to 2 finals before he was on the team.
Yeah.
Or was it only 1 finals? No, it was 2 because they lost to Lakers and Spurs. They went to 2. But it is just like a little funny. Like, that's the guy you're going to retire. I mean, Jason Kidd's number's retired too, but it's a little funny. And
How many?
I don't think a lot of people remember him for that team. They remember from Toronto.
Yeah. How many numbers?
And then he
did the
just
Nets
bounced
have
around so
retired?
much. Like, he had good years with other teams. Like, played well for Orlando.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He'll be the 9th number they have retired. Or wait, no. Sorry. Minus Bill Russell because he's across the NBA. They have Drazen Petrovic retired, his 3. Jason Kidd's 5. Going to be Carter's 15s. John Williamson's 23. Bill Melchioni 25. Julius Erving 32. Buck Williams 52. Sure. You have to. Do they retire Brooke Lopez's number?
How many years did he spend with the Nets?
He was in Brooklyn.
I know he's
New
the all-time
Jersey.
leading scorer.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years in Brooklyn. All-time leading scorer. Made an all-star team there. He averaged like 20 points per game throughout his career there. Let me see. Nets.
He's the leading scorer, but like they've already given the number up. Like, I think the jersey retirement is always weird when you've already like let somebody else wear the number. Yeah, Kyrie was 11.
Oh, you're right. Excuse me. You're right. Let me see. Total points. I want to see how far ahead he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he far and away the most points?
There's also a layer to this that just not a lot of people spend a lot of years there.
It's true. Okay, it's real close. So he is 10,444. Buck Williams is second at 10,440, and they retired Bucks. And then the next most is 8,800, which is Vince Carter. So probably they'll probably do it.
All of those guys have more than Kidd.
Yeah, Kidd only has 7,373.
How many years did he spend with the Nets?
Jason Kidd was in Brooklyn for New Jersey for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, 6.5 years.
I suppose Vince Carter meets the criteria. It's just weird when other franchises have lower standards for this.
Yeah,
I said there's a billion Celtics retired numbers, but like, I don't know. You still like when we talk about it, like especially in the modern age, it's like, does this guy deserve it? And it's like, well, did he win a championship? And then that's usually the end of it.
Excuse me. See, my question then. If Vince Carter gets his number retired, RJ? Like, where's the line here?
Well, that's like an interesting part of it is like RJ was a part of the 2 finals teams.
Exactly. 7 years there. He didn't make an all-star team though. Like 7 years, 2 finals appearances with the team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Made the playoffs in 6 of his 7 years. I don't know, man. That's a weird one.
I don't know.
I'd probably
that feels
not.
like
but
one of those ones. Like, I mean, this would be the time for it. Like the Vince Carter thing is happening now, so you really don't have to do it. But like when your team, your roster is not very good, and you're trying to draw some attention to your franchise, like you do this. I feel like it's deserved from Richard Jefferson.
I just like
Especially
Richard
with
Jefferson's
like
own
some of the
bias.
other people that are involved with this, like Vince
Yeah.
Carter and Jason Kidd, who were part of those same teams. Sure.
We'll see. All right. Reddit post of the day. What do you have?
Reddit post of the day does, oddly enough, tie both these two gentlemen together, both Embiid and Vince Carter. Reddit post of the day is on the NBA subreddit, comes from Bob Dak 7894. Post reads, players whose legacies would have benefited most from a championship. Dirk Nowitzki, for example, was viewed quite differently before his championship. He was considered soft and a choker. 2011 completely changed how people viewed him. I believe James Harden and Russell Westbrook's legacies would be viewed drastically differently if they won a championship. They put up amazing regular season numbers, but they never proved their style of play was good enough to win a championship. I currently think Joel Embiid would benefit most from a championship. What do you guys think? I think of people playing today, it feels like Embiid is maybe number one because despite all of his success, I don't know. I guess Westbrook and Harden are also good examples.
I think
despite all of his like dominance, like the two of us just had a 10-15 minute conversation of like that contract is going to eventually suck for them and he hasn't done anything yet.
I think obviously it would mean less if Harden and or Westbrook won with the Thunder when they were so young. If Harden won a championship with that Rockets team in the Warriors era, probably a top 20 player of all time. Like he would be maybe top 15. Dude, the numbers he was putting up if he won a title against those Warriors teams against LeBron in the East, like if they made 5 threes instead of 2 that game 7 or whatever it was, like something stupid, completely different like conversations. Like he was dominant in those years. Like I don't care what you say, I don't care if you say the style doesn't win, blah blah blah. They were game 7 against the Golden State Warriors, the dominant Golden State Warriors with Durant with a chance to go to the finals, playing that style of basketball. Dude was different. Like James Harden was fucking ridiculous in those years. If he had won a title, everyone's talking about James Harden so much differently.
The funny thing about that is thinking about them missing all the threes. That game and then the Celtics game 7 where Terry Rozier and Jaylen Brown were dreadful happened like on back-to-back days. Like very bad weekend for home teams shooting threes in the conference finals in a game 7. Other top answers. Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a major. If he was to win a championship, he would really be cemented in that conversation of the great point guard, like top 3 point guard of all time. Steve Nash is another good one.
2 MVPs of the title. My cheating answer is if Kevin Durant won a title with any of the teams he has been on that didn't have Steph Curry, he would be a top 5 player ever.
Yeah, I agree.
People would consider him a top 5 player ever.
I mean, I love Durant. I'm a fan of his. I like the way he plays, and
I agree.
Yeah, he's cool and truly loves the game. It would have been nice to see him win a title on his own. Another good comment is Carmelo.
Yeah, that's a good one. I just pulled up the box score from that game 7.
Oh, you should.
They shot 7 of 44 from 3. 2 of 13 from Harden, 2 of 12 from Eric Gordon, 0 of 9 from Trevor Ariza. Oh my god.
Trevor Ariza, by the way, whose job was literally just to shoot threes.
Chris Paul was hurt. Dude,
yes.
It is incredible that this team was in. Dude, they only lost by 9. They shot 15% from 3 and lost by 9. Listen to the roster.
They were up by a billion. They were up by a lot.
Listen to the roster they trotted out there against that Warriors team. James Harden, PJ Tucker, Trevor Ariza, Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, Gerald Green, Ryan Anderson, Joe Johnson. What the hell? Jesus, man. That's brutal.
This
What
Carmelo
else?
thread is interesting.
Yeah.
Because somebody said Carmelo comes to mind instantly. And then the next comment was, it's funny how him and Paul Pierce are viewed so differently. Melo achieved a lot of success earlier in his career compared to Pierce, but a lot of people forget that. And like, we've had this conversation on here a lot. Like, people still like put Melo above Pierce, and it kills me because I'm like, well, Pierce fucking won. But this thread goes long. I'm not going to read all of it, but a lot of
that is a
back and
good
forth.
point, though, to some degree. Like, I still think Pierce is better all time in terms of greatness because he won a title, and he won a title.
Them's the rules.
But Melo did have significantly more success early on, even if he didn't get over the hump.
I think Pierce made a conference finals.
Yeah.
After getting stabbed 13 times and played all 82 games that made conference finals.
But I mean, like early on. You know what I'm saying? Like Pierce, Pierce in his early
I
years.
think Melo never missed the playoffs at Denver. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Pierce did make it no 102. He wanted to run. Yeah, you're right.
Steve Nash, which you said, and then someone else said Karl Malone. Multiple MVPs and no ring. AI would be in that conversation as well. Charles Barkley, Ewing.
Wait,
what?
Elgin Baylor never won a ring?
No, Bill Russell just stood there and blocked shots.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
Oh,
I had no idea.
So we'll talk about this a little later, but my favorite thing about especially like when Lakers fans will like complain about the Celtics having like 60s titles, it's like, yeah, but like they beat the Lakers every time. Like that's the team they beat. Like Elgin Baylor has no championships because of the Celtics. Like it's not like they didn't exist.
Yes. Mutombo is one I see on here. Charles Barkley, obviously, AI, Steve Nash. Wait, Patrick Ewing. Didn't Ewing win a championship? Am I crazy? I thought he won.
Who do you think he won a championship with?
Oh no, sorry. In my brain,
they made the finals.
Him and Hakeem for like a brief second.
They did play in the finals.
Reggie Miller's a good one. Vince Carter's a good one. Tracy McGrady. Dominique Wilkins, sure. Yeah. I think all of these answers are pretty standard. I'm just like going through the list now, seeing if there's any other recent ones.
That doesn't have a championship, and like they were trying.
Marcus Aldridge. Blake Griffin, yeah.
I knew there was somebody. Yeah,
that's a good one. Anyways, let's do the rat list. Sam, what do you got?
Rat list. I went to the dentist. You ever so you know how what they say about like getting your car fixed? Like you go to get an oil change and they're like you need
and everything else. Yeah.
They did that to me at the dentist. Not to
what's
say
wrong with your teeth?
They were trying to some of these things called caps. After like sitting and thinking about this, what a cap is supposed to do. You ever like eat like chips? This is gross. You ever eat chips and like the chip remains get stuck in the back, like in your molars?
Yeah.
Caps are meant to prevent that. That is a normal thing that happens. And you know how you fix that? By brushing your teeth.
Yeah, just pick them out of your floss. Like what?
Floss.
Like just floss.
Not even like in between, like on top. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah. I just pick it out. What do you mean?
Yeah. Everyone's like, you guys are fucking gross. But like
no,
they're like,
normal.
yeah, you need 4 of these. And they don't cost that much money, but like
how much are they?
You know how like the hygienist like takes care of you, cleans your teeth, scrapes all the shit off, or like goes under your whatever. She does that. The actual like doctor dentist comes in and like she's going through looking at my teeth with like the mirror thing, and she's just calling out like all numbers. Like she sounds like a quarterback. Audibles at it like the offensive line.
Yeah, she's listening out with teacher fucked.
It's just like, oh, this. And
inside
then, like,
23
like pulled me aside after and was like, yeah, you probably only need like one of those things. They're like, you still wear a retainer? I'm like, no. They're like, you should have a retainer.
Get a mouth guard. I had to get a mouth guard.
See, I might need to get a mouth guard. They were telling me I grind. And I'm like, I don't think I grind. Do you remember a couple years ago when I was ordering chewing gum in bulk?
Yeah.
So one of my molars on this side has certainly had some like reduction because I'm pretty sure because I was eating so much sugar on that side with the chewing gum
Yeah.
that like during that time, like I was very sensitive, like with that tooth, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the
I had to stop
the
chewing
remains
gum.
are still there. Like you can see, like there was something that happened. Like they think that I'm grinding my teeth. I don't think I grind my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have no way of knowing if I grind my teeth.
Because
But
in your
anyways,
sleep, yeah.
the reason why this is on the rat list is because I was prepared for this. I was prepared. The last couple months, I've been flossing pretty regularly. When you go to the dentist, they always smoke you. They cut your mouth up and they're like, you should have flossed. Well, I did floss and I was ready. And I didn't bleed as much, but I still bled. And they were like, you didn't start flossing in time. Apparently, you have to floss like right after the clean. Well, you're always supposed to floss.
Fuck off. It's just
You don't floss in time, like the shit, like whatever is left hardens, becomes plaque, and then you have plaque between, so they have to still go in there. And I was just like, man, I tried my best, but I was going to a new dentist, so I didn't even have like that aspect of them knowing what I was before. But they seemed disappointed. It wasn't too bad. I told my parents, I was like, if I go in and like they're like, did you floss? Like, yes, and they were like, you need to floss more. I was gonna give up. I was like, this doesn't work.
no. You get
Up.
teeth now. I'm like, is there something there? I hate the dentist, man. Dentist is a scam. Those guys, I hate those guys. I like my dentist. Like my dentist is cool. Like he knows to cover the Celtics, so he just comes in, always asks me about stuff. And I
Yeah.
like went to high school like with his kid. It's like the town, whatever. Such a scam, dude. I remember when I had to get my my what is it called, wisdom teeth out
Wisdom
in high school.
Mm.
They clapped my ass. They were like, yeah, you know what? While we're in there, you still got 2 baby teeth. We're gonna take those 2. And
Mm.
so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, the front 2 teeth up here.
Oh no.
Whop, yanked my shit. And so I was just like, there was no like comfortable area of my mouth for like 2 weeks. I was just sitting there like an asshole, like dead.
My wisdom teeth came right out. They weren't impacted or anything, just came right out. I think I went to a PC game like that day. Like I was fine.
Yeah,
It was I was so afraid. I was like, I'm gonna get smoked. Like I was so afraid what I was gonna say. Like when I had like the anesthesia or whatever. I was like, I'm gonna say some fucking shit to my mom.
I was swearing.
My
I was
mom,
getting real mad.
when I had that happen, she was like, I knew you were like out of it because you kept telling me that you loved me. And I was like, oh.
That's funny. No, my dentist screwed me over too because I grew up though, like middle school, elementary school, like, no, you don't need braces. You don't need braces. Junior year of high school. Actually, I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Are you serious? So my junior and senior year of high school, I had to have braces, which is like, guys, we could have gotten this out of the way so long ago.
Right.
Like we could have done this like years ago. And they're like, nah, braces. And they were going to leave them on for my freshman year of college. And I said, no. I said, take them off. I'm done. I don't want them anymore. They're like, well, they were like, it's kind of okay. Like it could use another couple weeks. And I said, get them fucking off my teeth now. And I got like clear braces, so you couldn't see them as much. I just like took care of them and kept food. So it was like, wasn't as obvious that I had them, but man, those things fucking sucked. I hated having braces, man. They were so uncomfortable. Did you have braces? Oh, you're frozen. Well, I'll sit here while Sam comes back because I don't feel like editing this. Oh, welcome back. Did you have braces? This is what I asked you.
I did. I had braces.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You seem like a no braces guy to me. When did you have braces?
I had braces from 7th to 9th grade. Then I got them out.
Okay.
Braces were ass, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
When they would go in and tighten them,
ugh,
that'd be awful. You'd have your shit
Terrible.
ruined for like a day and a half, 2 days. You couldn't even eat anything.
Well, they took my wisdom teeth and front teeth out so I could get braces. And they like because these 2 were baby teeth, they put chains in my gums and attached them to my braces. So they basically, this is kind of gross. They basically took like little chains, put them in my gums and attached them to my adult teeth. And so the braces would pull down my new teeth. And so right here, I was like a fucking baby teething for months, like just waiting for them to come out.
Oh my god!
You ever hurt like elastics? A motherfucker. Yeah. Yes.
Those were the worst.
Ass.
Elastics.
So bad.
Do they at least like give you a little like the little rubber things you put on like the actual braces, the colors?
I don't know.
You'd have different colors?
I just did clear braces because I was like a senior in high school. I was like, I want them to be as non-distinct. I want to be like as possible.
I
Which
remember
was
wanting
fine, but
braces because I was like, that's cool. Like, you get to have the
Yeah, no.
colors and everything. I was like, that would
No.
be cool.
I was past the point of it being cool. My orthodontist was a dick though. Fuck that. I was not a fan.
Why?
He's just like I'd be like, oh, that hurts a little. He goes, you're fine. I'm like, I'm fine, motherfucker. Ow. Like, ouch. I don't like that. Like he was very dry. He wasn't very personable. Like he was just like, I was like, dude, you're hurting me. Like, chill the fuck out. And he would just be like, no, whatever. Haha. I'm like, get me the fuck out of this chair. I just didn't like him very much.
Anti-rat list though.
Yeah.
For the dentist office,
Yeah.
so I have to like get, I think, one filling. I think that's what they found.
Sure.
They rescheduled it before my birthday, so I don't have to change my insurance next time I go in.
W. That's big.
Worst birthday
Big
ever. I wish. I actually don't want to turn 26. Like night before.
Yeah.
That might be my last pod appearance.
You got to get that insurance, baby. You got to get ready. Yeah, no,
you actually have to go get insurance. That's rat list. Having to go get insurance.
I'm not thrilled.
I got to take money out of my paycheck every time to fucking get insurance. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's ass. How long do you think I can get away with?
I don't think you actually have insurance.
No, you do. You legally have to have health insurance. I'm pretty sure.
All right, we're not gonna get into whether that's right or wrong on this podcast. It's not why you came here.
Anyways,
about politics.
That's all I got. I don't have any other outlets today.
Ratless is Lakers fans. So this week I tweeted. I forgot to do this on the last show. I tweeted because I saw an NBA Central post that I guess like if there's expansion, Oklahoma City will give Seattle all of its titles history back. And then I just tweeted, I tagged the Lakers and I was like, you have to give Minnesota 5 titles. And like some people in the Celtics community started liking it, retweeting it. Like I got retweets from like, I think Coley Mick retweeted it. So like more and more people started to see this. Now, when I tweeted this, I only tweeted it because I knew Harrison, who runs SB Nation NBA, is a Lakers fan, but I knew he would have something funny to say. I literally only tweeted to get a reaction from Harrison. That's it. Because I was like,
did he react?
Harrison replies. He DM'd me after the fact. I did get tons and tons of replies after the Lakers fans found it, but I got ahead of it because I was like, I'm sure when the Lakers fans find this, they are going to be awesome about it and they're going to be really cool. And they were not. I mean, I don't care. DM me, comment. What do I care what you have to say? I don't care. I got one DM that somebody was like making fun of me, my profile pic. Like, what do I care? The only thing that sucks is you can't reply to them because then they win. And it's also like,
I always just said thank you. Whenever I just got
I
DMs.
didn't say that.
I
was just like, how are you gonna like zoom my profile picture when you have like a black, like just a black circle as your profile picture?
Yeah, when they send you the picture of the face, it's annoying.
What do I mean?
Yeah, the Lakers
both very handsome.
The Lakers are frauds. They added an NBL championship, so they have 18 now on Wikipedia. So
what is the NBL? Also, you've said this, they don't run the Wikipedia. Somebody just went in and did that. Anybody.
I know.
You can go in right now and make it 17.
Yeah, the NBL was them versus the Tri-Cities Blackhawks, the Oshkosh All-Stars, the Indianapolis Coutskis, and the Sheboygan Redskins.
This literally sounds like Globetrotters teams.
That was the Western Division. They won it over the Rochester Royals. And then they moved to the NBA in 1949 when it was like everybody and the Capitals and everybody and people were there. But
my favorite thing that people were like is like, okay, but like if you give up your titles that they won in the 60s, it's like, but they beat the Lakers every fucking time.
Yeah,
the Lakers were there.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're like a Raptors fan and you're like, well, why do those titles get to count? Like, I get it, your team didn't exist. But like, not only did the Lakers exist, but they lost every year to the Celtics. Like,
you could have won all of those. You could have had all those titles.
You could have 1 billion titles, but you weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Also, other just random thought that I had, new meme dropped. So I don't know if we talked about the trailer of whatever they're calling the Netflix
starting
Tatum thing.
five. Something
Yeah.
like that.
So in the trailer, good friend of the show, Cam
Yeah.
Tabatabai, does have a little cameo with Gary Washburn. And there's
Yeah.
a subtitle on this, and it's just Gary saying, seems like they're playing harder than you are. That is what I would say to the Lakers fans who are mad about the 60s title. Seemed like the Celtics were playing harder than you were.
That's a good one.
I will be happily tweeting that meme when the Celtics are in double digits.
I selfishly hope I somehow find my way into that fucking documentary. I think that'd be fun.
It would be crazy if I was there because I was only at a couple games. I just picked the right days.
I don't know where it would be. I don't know if I asked Tatum enough good questions. Like, I don't think any of my good questions this year were to Tatum. We'll see. We'll see.
So you've watched the football ones? Yes? No. I wonder, so is each guy going to have his own episode? Is that what it's going to be? Or are they just going to have like
they bounce
all
around.
5 of them?
They bounce around. I saw the first episode of the wide receiver one. Like, I saw it briefly. They just kind of bounce around. And
I see.
It's like a what's the word? A chronological thing. So like they start in training camp, they look at everybody's off season, everything like that, and they'll go throughout the season like with everybody at the same time, kind of thing. From the brief thing I watched, again, I haven't seen the whole things. I think it'll be really cool though. I actually think I'm actually very excited to see it. And very weirdly, I'm excited to see what the hell Domantas Sabonis does, because it's just so random. Like I'm like, all right, I want to see what this dude does in his off time.
I think one of the best things to come from this is going to
What an internet. Yeah, you're here. No, you're back. You're back. Welcome. You saved.
One of my favorite things that's going to come from this is LeBron knowing that the cameras are on him. Like I saw like a clip of him like putting Halloween makeup on. He's like, look how fun I am. I'm dressing up for Halloween.
Was he with his kids?
I don't know. I don't know. I just remember seeing like him putting makeup. I didn't watch the whole thing, obviously.
I bet it was like his daughter put the makeup on it. Like
I think there's a chance it was like the Lakers Halloween party. Remember when they did the Halloween party like years ago for the Cavs?
But I don't think that's for the cameras thing. I think he's just a corny motherfucker and would do that, which is fine. But I feel like that's
another thing. People fucking cry about Tatum being corny.
I know. I really just think it's a dad thing. I think
he tweeted wowzers on Twitter. He tweeted that.
It's just a dad thing. Like when you become a dad, you become corny. Find me an example of somebody who's not. Every dad, like think about it. Like dude, everyone loves Steph. Steph's corny. Everyone's corny. If once you're a dad, you're corny, and that's the line. And Tatum's dad, and he's finally reached the point where he's corny. Steph's corny when he's a dad. LeBron's corny. He's a dad. Like it's just what happens. Sorry.
One final rat list. Rip Bozo, rest in piss. Nike's contract with the NBA is set to end at the end of this season. We might be back. We might be way back. If Nike doesn't do all this stuff anymore. Now, Ian did reply to me and say, what if it's Fanatics? That would be awful.
I'm going to clip this for when Nike resigns for 10 more years.
That'll be a disastrous day. And I will tweet about it.
It's going to happen.
I did get a push notification from Apple News today. Here's what it said.
And
if I could find it.
Yeah. Spoiler
Apple
alert.
News read.
Yeah.
Inside Nike's dramatic fall. Rip Bozos.
Spoiler alert. Sam froze. See, Sam rambles and then he cuts off, so I can't even say my point.
That was you.
Okay, welcome back.
That was you. It was on your end. I had no Wi-Fi on my screen. Yes.
All right. You don't get to yell at me though. I've endured this for years, and you refuse to get new Wi-Fi, so you're not allowed to complain.
I owe
Take
you.
Your tone
I
down.
owe you some.
Yeah, you owe me plenty. What I was saying was, all of this just for Adidas to sign on and do the exact same stuff. Like you are not getting a break, brother.
Adidas was all right when they were on. They were good.
Yeah, 10 years ago, before you were allowed to have
they were
patches
honorable
and do a bunch of jerseys. It's going to be the exact same
no
matter what it is.
They definitely could have did that 10 years ago. Nike came in and had this plan. That's what it was.
I guarantee you, whoever takes over, and I'm telling you now, it's going to be Nike again, is going to have the ad patches, is going to put out a bunch of jerseys. It's going to be the exact same.
I wish I won the lottery. I would make my own company and I would buy the jerseys. That's what I would do.
A useful fund. Anyways, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics. Let us know your thoughts down below, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment, tell us what you think as we head into training camp. one more pod till training camp. Can you believe it? You want to hit the bell because as the season gets rolling, Jack and I are going to be here still. I mean, we were here when there was nothing. We're obviously going to be here when there's something. We have full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps when the games are back the morning after, and other videos in between to keep you busy. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. All pods and recaps will be up there for you. So if you're more of an audio person, that's fine. Follow us. They'll go right to your feed. You can find our email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. You saw it today. We always go through your emails on the pods. We love to hear from you guys. You guys are a big part of the show. So send those thoughts in, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook's the name of the pod. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's Money NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.